What up everybody, Colt Nerdy Core, back here with another video, and this one is going to be another pickup video. So just before we get into this pickup video in particular, I want to just kind of outline a couple new updates for the channel. First off, I'm just going to outline the next couple of videos I've been planning to release. So the first one will be a PS3 top 10 worst games I've played, so I'll be going through the top 10 worst games I've played in my collection, just kind of like the PS4 one I made, if any of you have seen that one. The next up will be a continuation of my top 100 games of all time, so that will be 79 to 60. I'm also going to be trying to get videos out at a lot quicker rate now. I have a new computer. I finally got it built. My brother built it for me, so shout out to him, and hopefully that can help speed up the process of making, editing, and releasing videos. Also with my new computer, eventually, I don't know how soon it's going to be, but I will start streaming, and then we can do a thing like where and you guys hop on stream and play the games that I'm playing. We can play together and kind of do things with, it'll probably be over on Twitch because I don't want to flood this channel with streams, so I'll keep it separate on Twitch, and then I'll still do my YouTube on here. My YouTube will be my main. I'll just occasionally be on Twitch. So yeah, now that we got the update stuff out of the way, let's just get right into the video. So first up, we got Deathloop. Deathloop's a game I got as a gift, I think on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. It's made by the same people who made Dishonored. It has that same vibe and art style as a Dishonored game if you've played it. It's the same thing, kind of where you get powers, there's like stealth elements, or you can kind of just run and gun it. It's a shooter, unlike Dishonored, which is like a sword hack and slash stealth game. This is mainly a shooter. You still have powers and stuff. It's an interesting concept. The loop of constantly dying, being revived, and being able to use the knowledge and tools you've acquired from previous kind of saves or loops in the next loop is actually pretty interesting. The issue is, with such a small area, it kind of gets very repetitive. And I found at the end of trying to play this game and beat this game, which I did, it was kind of like a chore of just trying to get it done, because I did the loop how you're supposed to do it before the game actually allowed me to do it. But I wasn't able to complete it because the story progress didn't reach the point where it was actually able to recognize that I beat the loop correctly. So it became kind of a chore redoing it again. But overall, it was a fun game. Next up, we got Far Cry 6. It's basically the same as any other Far Cry game. It has some pretty good shooting mechanics. It plays decently well. It's the same thing as where you start a resistance against an evil group of people, or a certain like government, and you slowly just overthrow them with like a rebel group. There's fun little side characters. There's actually a couple decent side quests in this game. Overall, not one of the better Far Cries in my opinion. Still a fun playthrough though. I did beat it. And the Far Cry games are just, if you like the style of the game, it's kind of like Assassin's Creed, where if you like the style of the game and you recognize that it's just going to be the same thing over and over again, but you enjoy it, you'll enjoy the game. And that's kind of where I was at with this game. I picked it up, I think, on sale for Boxing Day. I think I picked it up for $30. Next up, we have Judgment. You guys may recognize this from my top 100 games of all time. It actually made the list right after I finished beating it. This game was originally on the PS4, if I'm not mistaken. It's made by the same people who made the Yakuza games, or Fist of the North Star, if any of you are familiar with those games. It plays very similar. Very awesome beat-em-up game, really fluent combat. The world it creates is amazing. Sub-stories are really fun and wacky and really just elevate the game so much. The story in this game is actually fantastic. And you play as a lawyer who lost his gig because of a case, and turns into a detective. I'm not going to give too much away about the story because I think this is one where I would recommend people go blind into it as much as they can, because the story, the characters, and all that are amazing in this game, and I would highly recommend getting this one. I picked this up, I think, on Boxing Day as well. I think I got it for $40 though. Alright, the next up we got Spider-Man Miles Morales. I played the first Spider-Man. I found the first one fun. I didn't think it was as good as like the Arkham games or something like that, but it was still a fun playthrough. The web swinging was really good. The city environments and stuff like that were great. I just didn't really like certain story elements or any of like the outside of main Spider-Man play. I thought was kind of boring. But it was good enough that I wanted to get the next one and give it a shot as well. I heard this one's pretty short compared to the other Spider-Man game, but that's fine. I got this one for a gift as well for Christmas, so no cost to me. But I'm looking forward to try it out. I haven't tried it yet. As you can see, it's still wrapped up. Alright, next up is Battlefield 5. As many of you know who have actually watched the channel and my other videos, I'm actually a big fan of picking up like the Call of Duties and the Battlefronts and playing through their campaigns. I always love a good, just short and sweet shooter campaign with a little fun story. But honestly, this one I was pretty disappointed in. I didn't play the multiplayer at all, but the campaign was really short, like super short, and really boring. It's basically just like you're playing on multiplayer with like a couple little objectives to do. You hold a certain area, you take over a certain area, and then the story advances. There's 3 like little campaigns you could play through different eras of World War One. 2 of them weren't too great. The one where you played as the guy who was an ex-convict who joins up on like this secret, I don't know, it was like a secret squad or something like that, sent to like blow up fighter planes and stuff like that. That one was kind of interesting. That was definitely the best out of the 3, but overall they were kind of really lackluster, even for Battlefield campaign. So not my favorite. I got it for $10 though, so I can't really complain. Alright, next up is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I've actually been looking to pick up this game for a freaking while. I could never find it for a great price, to be honest. I always found it at like the $30 to $40 range, and I wasn't willing to pay that for a game that came out like 2 to 3 years ago. But I finally picked it up. I think it cost me $20. It's still a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but I really just wanted to try it out. I'm actually currently playing through this one right now. So far it's been really fun. I'm honestly only ever played one other Resident Evil game, and that's 5. But this was definitely a good shakeup from that game. I enjoyed 5. I think this game is actually a lot spookier than 5, and actually nails like the vibe and feel of the game a lot more. 5 I feel is more like a shooter. This one I feel more is like an actual horror game. The characters are pretty interesting. The environments are pretty cool. I haven't fully got through it yet, but what I've played of it, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it so far. Next up is Star Wars Squadrons. This is one I was very hesitant on when it initially came out, because of, you know, it's EA. They haven't really been doing great with the Star Wars license, even though I will say Battlefront 2 is actually really fun to play at the moment, and I've been playing a lot of it recently since they've like updated it and did a bunch of DLC and reworking of it. It's actually really good now. But this was not during that time. I was interested when it was announced, but I never picked it up. I found it at a Walmart in their, like, you know, they have those discount bins with a bunch of games in it. I found it for $10 in there, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. It has a campaign, so I'm interested to see what that's about. And it was like, it came in really good condition, so it was brand new, so I was excited for that. And for $10, you can't go wrong. And next up is Daymare. I've never heard of this game. I saw it when I picked up Squadrons over there. This was also in the bin, and I was like, okay, I'm playing through Resident Evil now. I'm enjoying it. This one's like a third-person survival horror game, apparently. That's like has its own story with a bunch of different overarching characters. At least that's what it advertises on the back. So I was like, you know, for $10 or $15, I'll give it a shot. Maybe it's a hidden gem. I'm always looking to pick up games like that. So I was willing to give it a shot, and you know what? It's $15. I'll sometimes put a flyer out on a game. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Alright, the next up, we have the Bigs 2. This will date this video a lot in terms of how long it's been since I put out a collection video. This was bought back in, I think it was August. There was a fan expo near me, and I think it was in August, and I went to it and I picked it up there, which is like a convention type thing, kind of like a Comic-Con. The issue is it came complete, but so far the disc hasn't worked. I want to get it completely cleaned before like giving up on it. But so far it hasn't worked yet. But the game's the bigs too. I used to own this game and then I lent it to a friend, and we like kind of traded. I got Skate 3 and he got the bigs 2 and a controller, so I kind of lost out on that. But I finally picked it up because I really enjoyed this game as a kid. It's basically like Mario Baseball, but with actual big leaguers. So it's a pretty interesting concept. I really hope it eventually works. I paid $20 for it, so hopefully it works. It's a good price. It's a very good price for the game. If it can work for the $20. If it can't, I lost $20. So hope for me there. The next up, we got a game I've actually been looking to pick up for a while, and that's Deadpool for the PS3. I've actually heard a lot of good things about this, and I think it was for my birthday back in last summer. I got a gift card for Amazon for $50. So I bought these next two games, well, this game and the next game with it for the $50. This, I think, cost me $35. It came complete, and I haven't played it yet. I haven't tried the disc yet, but this was from Amazon. I haven't had any issues with Amazon games that I've ordered yet, so I'm assuming it works. It's a hack and slash game. I've heard the comedy in this game is actually pretty good, and the characters and like the kind of aura of Deadpool and nailing the kind of look and feel of a Deadpool game and how it should be is really well done in this game. So I'm excited for it. I like that it's an actual mature rated game, so it might mean they actually go full out on like the comedy and over the top stuff like the Deadpool movies. So I'm really excited to get into this game. Again, I think I paid $35 for it. Alright, the next up, we got the outlier in the SSX series. This is SSX Blur, and for those of you who haven't heard of this game, you probably haven't heard of it for a good reason. This is a lot of people would say the worst SSX game, and it's on the Wii. I got it for, I think, $5 complete. Same thing on that Amazon order. I just wanted to complete my collection of all the SSX games. This was the only one I was missing. I am willing to give it a shot, just because it's an SSX game, and I love the SSX series. I've heard it's really bad though, so I'm going in there with very low expectations. But you know, $5 completed collection, you know, it's worth it. So yeah, SSX Blur. And then finally, an actual PS Vita pickup. I haven't picked up a PS Vita game in a while. This was also at the same Fan Expo I went to get the Bigs game. I didn't go specifically to get the Bigs game, but they were there. I got it at the same place. This one I think was $30 if I'm not mistaken. It was 25 or 30. I know about this game. My brother is big into these games. I enjoy Persona 4. The dancing games I haven't been into too much in terms of this series, but I do enjoy a good rhythm game now and then. So I'm hoping this one works. I haven't tested it out yet, but the price I got this compared to actually what it goes for online is actually not bad. It's kind of on the lower end of the spectrum of what people pay for it, so hopefully it works and I actually got a good deal for this one. And it's cool, this was actually one of the PS Vita games I was still looking to pick up, so helps kind of bolster my PS Vita collection, which I haven't got a new game for that in a while. Alright, so there you have it. That is the end of the pickup video. Hope you enjoyed my pickups. I know I haven't been picking up too much compared to normal, but I was actually able to talk about the games this time instead of just listing off what I know about them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you picked up any of the games I have here, or I've played them previously and want to let me know your thoughts about them, definitely let me know. If there's still some games you haven't seen in a pickup video or a collection video from me that you think I should check out, let me know as well. And as always, thanks for watching, and remember, everybody has some nerdiness at their core.